of conferences comes your way next on Madden Football.
Room for Jacobs there on first down. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach. Let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're going louder.
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Javon Kinlaw drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. What a nice swander on a punt as he sends this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Now by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021, it's Trey Lance. And they'll run. This is Trey Sermon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for Sermon in last week's game: 17 carries, 104 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
A play fake for Sermon. Now Lance. And he will find his man, Samuel. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he'll go down at the 28. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one. A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. On the quick handoff, it's Juszczyk. Space to run past the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Our eyes and attention are on the fullback. Big time carry, big yardage. But how about the guys up front, the offensive line? A lot of people think they may have to block it differently for the fullback to get big yardage. They really don't. Because he's big, strong, and powerful, a lot of times he makes his own way. They may not have to block as hard.
A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. Another carry here for the fullback Juszczyk. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run it anyway because that's your strength?
And Gold is able to put it through. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive. Nifty move. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. His first carry of their 2nd drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On the handoff, Sermon. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. The 49ers with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. Sermon now on 1st and 10. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Anthony Harris on the tackle. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Working from the gun. Lance. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. The Lance going to throw. And that is incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts. This time on 3rd down.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, that was a show of support to even allow him to attempt to make that kick. And you know if he did, that would tie the NFL record. That's a heck of a shot.
Yeah, it would have been a big deal, but a little bit short. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Carr now to throw. Out to the left, that's where the tight end Moreau is. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. Counter play with Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It was pretty evident in reading everything, hearing these guys talk.
Absolutely a key component to what they do and what they do well. And if they want to continue to have success in the future, they knew they needed him, and they got the deal done.
It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Second down and goal. Carr to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I'll tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. Working from the gun, it's Carr.
Into a sea of defenders have intercepted.
Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
And the Niners are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Lance with a tap forward on the jet sweep. And he'll go out of bounds. Looks like right at the 15.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Lance looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He'll get this complete to Charlie Warner. And he's going to have a Niners first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. First man through, it's the fullback use check. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now Lance. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Franklin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
And Lance will try again on 2nd down. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because that incompletion's on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, instead of 4th down after the incompletion, it'll be 1st down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
That's complete. It's Kyle Juszczyk. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, they'll throw it with Lance. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Gets this one to Juszczyk. And he is going to have the 49ers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Lance. Incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lance. He's going to go up top for the end zone. That'll be caught by Ayuk. Touchdown 49ers. Brandon Ayuk, his first touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr and the Raiders set for their next possession. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
This time, they'll just keep this on the ground. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. On play action, now Carr sliding out of the pocket.
Man open, that's Henry Ruggs.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. The question they've got to decide.
After review of play, the rule on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one.
Now Carr on the bootleg.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Here's the Raiders punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've hit halftime here in All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Very short kick taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
The drive starts with a carry by Sermon.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Sermon.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down.
Lance looking to throw it.
And that is incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
46 yards on the ground for him so far.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw his Carr. That's caught by Waller out left side. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. 2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Shotgun now for Carr.
Got an open man. It's Ruggs.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
7 yards, the pickup there.
If you run an out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all.
Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Carr.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, They run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And the throw there.
Example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively. Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Now a handoff, Sermon.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
60 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here's Lance.
Taking a shot for Samuel. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead. Gold with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So the drive there, they went 80 yards in 3 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
The Raiders offense ready to go.
And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support. And I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
I like his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Carr now on 1st down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Carr's throw there complete to Ruggs.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Carr going to leave this for Drake on the draw. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now Carr, gotta have this one. Reception here by Ruggs. And he coughed it up. And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was 4th down, and the possession changes. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 74 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
But they run once more with Sermon. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Sermon. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at
all. On 1st down, Carr. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Carr now to throw. Right back to Waller. He's got it this time. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
On 1st down, Jacobs. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
2nd down, Jacobs once more. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. And it looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves him with 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
on a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Carr. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And they'll run with Sermon to begin the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 3rd down, here's Sermon. And even 100 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for the Niners, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for next week.